Hi Taurus, welcome to your week ahead tarot scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Taurus, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. For your key to the week this week, you have the Temperance card. What I will say to you is this... Usually temperance is about balance, it's about bringing different things in, it's also about the process of spiritual alchemy, right? But this week I actually feel like this temperance card is bringing you to a point of no return. This is where you're crossing a threshold of some sort this week, and it's going to require that you have patience, determination, absolutely, but also like that you have a lot of care with yourself, that you are patient, I guess, with yourself. This is really one of those moments where, like I said, you're crossing a threshold, you're coming to a point of no return, and there is a reckoning of sorts coming up here. This would be a time for you to think about what are the things that feel like they're pulling you apart right now, and where is it that you realize that you have what you need in order to bring those things together. This is a change. This is a big change that's coming up for all Taurians in some way, shape or form. I know you guys don't like that word, so I'll try not to swear. But you've got Uranus moving through Taurus at the moment, so this is something that you're very well versed in at this point, right? It's been happening for like the last 3 and some years, and you've still got another 3 years of this transit to go. So, you know, let's see how you are by the end of it. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. For your actions and options, you have the 5 of Cups, saying goodbye to who you were. Right, this is the moment at which you are releasing a very old version or very outdated or outmoded level or version of self, and this is really apt at the moment. I know for a lot of you, what I really find interesting as well is the Temperance card is number 14. 1 and 4 gives you 5, and then you've got the 5 of Cups. 2 5s represents a vigil. So this, if you haven't seen the weekly general, check it out. This is a week to pray. It's a week to be mindful. It's a week to go into that space where you allow yourself to speak to the divine and for them to answer, whatever that might mean to you. But that 5 of Cups, there is loss here. It's a loss of identity. It's a loss of understanding. Maybe even for some of you, this is a loss of your spiritual footing. This isn't a bad thing. It means that you are ready to replace the version of you that has brought you this far, will only bring you this far. So this means that you're ready to replace that version with a different, not necessarily better, but a more elevated or more evolved version of yourself. For your communications and conversations, you've got the 9 of Cups. It's through communication and conversation. It's through your connections to others, by talking it out this week. That is how you succeed. That is where and how you find your ultimate healing. The 9 of Cups coupled with the Temperance card can represent a literal healing journey. This could be some of you, maybe your communications and conversations this week, maybe you're speaking to a counselor or a therapist, maybe you're speaking to a doctor or, you know, some other medical professional. This suggests to me that you're getting good information now about how to move forward. It's like, for some of you as well, this could be a moment of realization, or you're pinpointing something. It's like what the root cause of something is, and it comes through a conversation or a communicative experience. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, the 9 of Cups is great because it suggests that the work that you've done has the desired result. So a lot of you that are going through some form of study, or you're working on something big sort of behind the scenes, this is that week where you see a breakthrough. This is that week where you see some kind of, yes, all right, this is what it was for, you know. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, I think that this could be the recognition that maybe you have wanted or needed for some of you. Other ways that this might show up if you're employed excuse me, is that you're like maybe a seed of an idea that you've planted before suddenly becomes relevant, or something that you set into motion that you've been doing for some time that makes things better for everybody. It's kind of like you're noticed for this, where everybody says, oh, you know what, yeah, this really works. And by the way, it was, you know, this person that implemented this. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, breakthrough in your business. This is a moment at which you realize that your business is truly an extension of you. And because you've got this with the Temperance card, I would wonder here if you're having a what's the word that I'm looking for? I would wonder here if you're not having just a breakthrough, but you're having a moment or a realization that what you give or what you do is actually worth more than what it currently is. I'm not saying to hike your prices just yet, especially with the way that the current climate is and is going to be for a few months ahead. But this is definitely an understanding that what you give, what you offer, is at a certain level. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, especially because the Five of Cups is here, this is the kind of profound peace that shows up after we lose something, after something goes away or something ends. For some of you, this could literally be, the winding down process once you go through your retirement. I've seen this happen before with grandparents, like once the job ends, they kind of have this moment of, okay, well, I've done this for the last 20, 25 years. What do I do now? Who am I? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of questions about this or around it. For your love and relations, you have the Tower card. So there are big realizations happening in the relationship sector. This makes total sense because for those of you that are, ascendant Taurians to a lesser degree, but still relevant, the sun and the moon, the eclipse that's happening at the beginning of this week in the sign of Scorpio is happening in your 7th house. It's happening in the opposite sign to your own, which means that the realizations that are coming in relationships mean, especially if you're different, then your relationship is going to have to change with it. It will have to evolve with it in some way. And if it doesn't, this could be not for all of you. You'll know if I'm talking to you because your relationship will already be on its way out. The eclipse is only going to be the thing that deals the final blow to it. And I'm really sorry to say that. I really hope that I'm wrong and that you find a way to sidestep this. But if that is the case, remember what I always say with the Tower is whatever or whoever is left once the Tower has fallen can be trusted. And the fact that you've got this with the Five of Cups, that is a loss, a completion, or an ending that you will feel on a very profound, maybe even a very spiritual level. But here's the thing, because you've got the Nine of Cups and the Temperance card, it's not something that brings, it might be uncomfortable, but it doesn't bring pain, it doesn't bring drama or anything like that. It's just, it's one of those moments where, I don't know if any of you have ever been fired. I got fired from a job when I was 19. And up until that point, I was like really stressed and all the rest of it. And then, my boss came to, it was only a part-time job, but she was like, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to let you go. And once she'd said it, I was like, thank God for that. I was actually really relieved, which I didn't expect. This could be one of those moments for some of you. For those of you that are single and looking, honestly, this could be you connecting to connecting to somebody through, I don't want to say tragedy because that's not necessary. It's not healthy to bond with somebody over a trauma. It's really not, especially if you're both not healed from that thing. That's just my opinion. Disclaimer. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you're connecting with someone this week and you're single, it's likely to be through a very profound and possibly spiritual experience. And that's the difference. It's not, we've both been through this really awful thing and so, we cling to each other. That's not necessarily healthy. But it is likely to be, wow, I'm in a moment where I'm going through this profound shift and profound healing and I'm open to where that journey takes me. And that's how we bond. You see the difference between the two? For your money and materials, you've got the Six of Swords. And you've got this right underneath the Nine of Cups. So opportunities to travel. If you are traveling this week, it looks like your journey will go off without a hitch. There might be a realization that comes through that journey. You've got the Six of Wands with the Knight of Cups, Nine of Cups. This could be some form of travel that offers healing in some way. And because it is the Six of Swords, this suggests that your money or your finances are about to start to improve, which is really nice. So you could be getting a nice little cash boost this week. And when it comes to your home and environment, the Six of Swords, I would say this is you spending time away from the home this week. And then for your... physical health and vitality, sorry, it took me a moment. This is your nervous system. And with this specific combination of cards, I would say anything that you know helps lower your blood pressure. I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice, but anything that you know calms you down, makes you feel better, gives you that sort of soothing, healing vibe, that is where you want to be spending your time, your effort, and your resources this week. And if that means getting away for a while, then absolutely go for it. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.